Welcome to You, Me, Empathy, a safe place for leading with your heart. Hey, thanks for being here. You, Me, Empathy is the official podcast of the Feely Human Collective, a collaborative mental health community designed to empower each of us to grow our capacity for empathy, vulnerability, and emotional wayfinding. Just a friendly reminder that this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. No one is just a silly boy with a feely heart. You can support the show by leaving a review in Apple Podcasts, following us on social media at Yumi Empathy and Feely Human, and joining the Feely Human Collective community at feelyhuman.co. And now your host, Known Wells.
Hello, Feely Humans. Welcome to another episode of You, Me, Empathy. My name is Known Wells. I am the creator and host of this podcast. I'm also the founder of the collaborative mental health community, the Feely Human Collective. You can learn more about that at feelyhuman.co. I am so thrilled and excited to be here on episode 195, where we explore what would you add to cart for your mental health with my wonderful, delightful human guests. Human guests. Yes, they're humans. They're feely humans. They're delightful humans. They're joy-making humans. Kulap Vilaysack and SuChin Pak. Kulap and SuChin are the co-hosts of one of my all-time recent favorite podcasts, Add to Cart. Add it to your podcast list. Add to cart the podcast right now. It's pure joy. In this episode, Ku and Sue and I explore the necessity to sometimes compartmentalize our feelings, the calm and overwhelm that comes with list making, Kulap's survival skill of taking the emotional temperature of everyone in the room. I relate to that. SuChin's life-changing empathy experience she had in a CVS, and, as I mentioned before, what we'd add to cart for our mental health. Plus, just so much more, like lots of vulnerability, like compartmentalizing our feelings, like getting through the days, like parenting and the hard feelings of anger and worry wrapped up in dysfunction in a family. We talk about Heidi Rose Robbins and parenting and how perhaps the need to be right is for children and psychopaths. We also talk about adding to cart breakfast and hot guys and just a lot more. Just a lot more joy. I loved this episode. I think you will too. It's just going to bring a smile to your face. I hope. Please make that happen. I hope you love it. Before we get to the episode, though, I wanted to remind you to please follow the show and Feely Human on Instagram at YouMeEmpathy and at Feely Human. I mentioned feelyhuman.co at the top. That's where you can go and write for Feely Human. You can work with me on a workshop. If you want to collaborate on a workshop, I'm open to that. And we got a workshop coming in November, another workshop coming in November, a self-care workshop with my pal Rebecca Haas. So look out for that. And episode 200 is coming. So that's very exciting. It's going to be a collaboration with a bunch of past wonderful guests from the show. So look out for that special episode. And the last thing I'll say is please leave a rating and review for this podcast in Apple Podcasts. It does truly help out the show. I'd like us to get to 200 ratings. We're at 147. We've been stuck at 147 for a long time. And I think we can do better, people. We can do better together. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Okay. I love you. Thank you. Please enjoy this episode on what would you add to cart for your mental health with my guests Kulap Vilaysack and SuChin Pak.
La 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 la, you, me, empathy.
Welcome to You, Me, Empathy, the official podcast of the Feely Human Collective. On this show, we explore the struggles, the triumphs, the brights and the darks we face as humans trying to get by on this wondrous and overwhelming pale blue dot. The intent of You, Me, Empathy is to talk openly, without judgment, about our mental health, our neuroses, our shared anxieties and worries, to create a dialogue that is vulnerable and deeply human and empathetic, and to share that dialogue with others to inspire emotional and cognitive collaboration and insight, so we can, hand in hand, break down the stigma that make us feel shame and guilt for struggling, for feeling our feelings, for being feely humans. You, Me, Empathy is a safe, friendly space designed to inspire the beauty in each of us. Today, I am adding to cart all the feelings because I'm here with the internet's favorite aunts, podcasters, and empathy heroes of mine, SuChin Pak and Kulap Vilaysack. Hello!
Hi! How are you?
I love seeing this array of names. You know,
That's
only
true.
on this podcast do you get a known, a SuChin, and a Kulap.
It's a great trio of names.
Yes, it is. Hi.
Hi.
Let's
How are
feel
ya?
stuff. Let's do it.
Let's get into
Is
our
that how
feelies.
Is that how we start feeling stuff? I don't know.
SuChin, I can feel the sweat from your palms, from your pits, and your feet. It's
amazing. Oh my God. She has all my sweat chakras. That's scary. I want to be honest here. Because that's all I said. I said, you just have to be honest. And that's hard for me. But yesterday I did contemplate canceling, rescheduling this session.
I so appreciate that honesty.
Yes, I was like, wow, it's going to be real, but I'm glad we're here. And I don't always listen to those voices, which is a good thing because they don't always serve me.
Well, let's get into that because we always kick off the show with an emotional check-in. So, SuChin, what's going on there? What's behind those feelings, do you think?
Oh, okay. Didn't see that. Wow, didn't see that.
You didn't see a follow-up to that statement.
Didn't see that boomerang.
This is the podcast
Coming my
for
way.
that. This is the space.
Thought I was going to be able to slide right through that. After the sharing part, it was going to go on. Someone else was going to have the conch. Well, I think, it takes a lot for me to access my feelings. And like most things that we do habitually, it both serves and doesn't serve me. And it serves me in the sense that I have to get through my day and there's a lot of things and I just need to get through my day. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't serve me, when I have to sit in my feelings like this morning. So it's a little bit of both. It's both my armor and my sort of Achilles heel, if you will.
Isn't that true for all of us? I think it's an and, right? We do it because we have to get through because we're humans and we have lives and we have kids and we have jobs and we just got to go through the stuff. And then sometimes, we have to sit in the shit. Yeah, it's tough. How are you with that, Kulap?
Great.
A plus?
Yeah, I mean, that's only because I used to not be good at it. And I've just spent at least 12 years really, really sitting at it and learning to be okay with it and learning to clean myself of it. And then learning sometimes I didn't fully clean myself of it. And that the shit comes from me.
Well, we all shit. That is true.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm shit upon, but most of the time it is I who is shitting.
Upon herself.
This is like a Rumi poem right there.
And it is I rolling it within and upon my own shit.
I think a lot of us can relate to this, which is, and I relate deeply to this, Kulap, which is there comes a point in our lives where we just have to face it a little bit because otherwise it just becomes there's like too much suffering in resisting this stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
I certainly did that as a kid growing up, feeling very unsafe, violent childhood, like all that stuff, repressing to survive. And then at a certain point, like, this is no longer serving me. I honor it and I need to like find another way. Otherwise,
Yeah.
this isn't going to last, you know?
Yeah. And for me, I spent a lot of time wishing things were different.
Hmm.
And can't believe I'm doing this, but I would like to recommend to both of you when you feel safe to go see Shang-Chi and the 10 and the 10 rings, because one of the biggest, because it's a Marvel movie, but it is a family movie. It's a dysfunctional family movie.
Okay.
And it's about SuChin especially. There's the first one, Asian superhero or Asian Canadian or Asian Chinese superhero, but it's so about being Asian American too, in a way that I haven't seen it before. But really, it is like being not hiding and being all parts of who you are, being the good and the bad, bringing that together, not hiding from it, heightened in this sort of Marvel superhero way.
Yeah.
And of course, like, that's my jam. I'm like, yes, like, thank you. Thank you. And also, no, I mean, there were some hot guys. I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place.
Add to cart.
Add to cart, hot
Add
guys.
to cart.
We do. All
Yeah.
Add to cart, Tony Leung. Add to cart, Simu Liu. But yes, that part of like wishing things were different, running away from my parents and figuratively, literally, and then being mad and worried that I am a product of them in such a negative way, to reframing that view and letting that be my superpower and honoring that, which is what you said, Known.
It's amazing.
Way quicker.
No, but you brought in a recommendation,
Mythology,
a movie
yes.
recommendation.
Come on.
You're talking about hot guys. I mean, this is important stuff.
Add to cart.
Yes. I have not seen that movie. I've heard it's wonderful. I need to see it. My wife and I have been doing the thing where we wait like a month till the movie's been out, like about a month, and then we go on like a Wednesday night and no one else is there, and that feels comfortable and safe.
That's so smart. That's really smart.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to go. I was like, I'm gonna wait. I don't feel comfortable. And then this is like such my jam in every, yeah. And I was like, I have to go. So we waited a week, but
I love that you can, I think that's the beauty of any storytelling or stories, is that we can see like on the surface, it's this superpowers or whatever, right? But like I've started to think of my own sort of sensitivities and my feelingness as superpowers, right? Like, whereas before maybe it felt like a burden, right? It felt hard and stuff, but like, fuck that. I'm going to, as to use your words, Kulap, reframe it and look at it in a different way.
I thought you were saying the words you were using was "fuck that," and I thought, yeah,
That
thank
too.
you. That quote, that attitude, yes.
Let's start with an emotional check-in. Really, Kulap, how are you feeling right now? How's the week been? All that.
Okay, emotional check-in. I feel like I'm probably at a neutral space right now. Nothing's really peaking, or I'm worried about, but like, it's more like it's Monday, beginning of the week. Am I gonna like get things done this week? Am I gonna, like it's that sort of insulin, like Monday morning, I haven't eaten yet. Was that maybe not a good idea? I have is a little bit of sparkling water and 2 tablets of metformin.
I would say add to cart breakfast, Kulap. Please add to cart breakfast.
Noted. I accept that feedback. And I will try to do better. But yeah, I feel okay right now, but also like anxious for like, the checklists.
I feel that.
Yeah.
The checklist hanging over our heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a this thing.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
This is from Knock Knock, which I think they're based in LA. But yeah, I make a checklist every Sunday, and it's like a part of me. It's like, yeah, getting my thoughts down. It feels like I'm trying to organize, but also like it feels overwhelming at the same time doing it. Like it's like I do it, and I do it because I want to feel less overwhelmed, but it adds to the overwhelm a little bit. Do you guys relate to that at all? Making lists and whatnot?
Well, I get that. I like a list. I do my version of like a bullet. Have you heard that bullet?
Like a bullet journaling thing.
Yeah. Like I have, I can show you what I have, which is it's a notebook, but let me give you a representative page. And this notebook has almost like everything, everything that I also jot notes, but basically I bullet things that I need to get done every day, and things that don't get done, I migrate on to the next day. Which is just, it's with the bullet journaling, it's just like you put a bullet point and then it's just you messing with it. You make if you're migrating it, you're making a arrow, basically, like it's going forward.
Okay.
And I feel a sense of pleasure when things get like done,
checked off. Yeah.
Like also I feel the same sort of pleasure when I get rid of things, like physically,
like donate or something.
I like, it's the same sort of delicious for me, refining pleasure.
Yeah.
And so I'm a person who plans so that she can relax.
Okay. How about you, SuChin?
Wait, and Kulap. Yes and no, but also Kulap, are you the type of person who like reads all the emails and texts?
Ooh,
and
great question.
Yeah. I think I knew that somewhere in my brain, but I just wanted to confirm that because that is my my knowing of Kulap, which is very different from myself. And I do listen, and I've shared that I think that overwhelming thing with the list, because I tend to be a little bit scatterbrained if I don't ground myself in listing all day. So like I'm constantly writing and rewriting and organizing lists. Like that's a very soothing and calming thing for me. But what I was having trouble with was around like the 4:00 when things are starting to shut down and the kids are here. And so I'm starting the other part of my job is I'm like, wow, I knocked off one thing. What did I do all day? And I had really a lot of anxiety about that. And then the list suddenly became less calming. And so a trick that my therapist at the time had said was, why don't you at 4:00 write a list of all the things you did today? And that is including taking a shower, making your lunch, making your kids' lunch. That is, returning UPS boxes, all of it. Write down everything you did. And writing that list at 4:00 is such a pleasure because you realize, wow, I've been going all day. And so there is a sense of gratification, but there's also a sense of like realizing that a lot of times I'm just so checked out that I like, it's almost like a sleepwalking. that I don't even know what I've done with my day until I have that moment. And I think, wow, okay. And I think a lot of the reasons why I tend to shy away from feelings sometimes is because those feelings for me have often led me to a false perception of who I am because they're habit. And these habit feelings are, oh, you're never doing enough. You could be doing more. You could be doing things better. You should be doing this. You should be, right?
And Asian American voice.
My mom. Anyway,
Yep,
lovely lady. Love her to death. But
she's got her mom's voice in her head too.
and that voice, I think the survival part of it, as we've talked a little bit about, and I'd love to dig into, is that I've gotten to the point where ignoring that has served me really well. Because when you give into that is when that's when kind of I get into a lot of trouble. But the refinement for me is, okay, I can ignore that voice and still feel, right? That's the part that I'm working on. So I'm really good at ignoring it and, barreling through. But it's that other half that I think now I'm trying to figure my way through.
Like my therapist, similarly, but it comes out in different ways. That is a constant conversation. Yeah. When I'm unwell, it's like, it's about, I was like, but what are the things that you have done? And if you really look at those things, they're like, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Especially during this pandemic, I was like, these things I can't do. Like, I'm just staring at the blank page. I feel bad about myself. I don't think people want to work with me. And then she'll be like, but during the pandemic, did you start add to cart? Didn't you? Yeah. And it is. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think a lot of times, maybe for me, maybe you can relate to this, those things that we're not sort of adding to the list, or those things that we're just sort of doing because it's what we do and it's like part of our identity as a mom or whatever, right? Those are the things that maybe are wrapped up in like comparison, or wrapped up in like, oh, like I need to be doing more because I don't know, this person's doing more and this person's doing this thing and that, and what really we need to like let go of all of that and just allow for like, look, we're like living as humans in a pandemic. We're, starting podcasts, we're raising kids. Like, we're doing fucking great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
context for SuChin too. It's like kids have is this second week in school? Third week?
Third,
if
I
that?
think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, up until this point, like all that you have, and all mothers have had to do during this time. I mean, it has been a time of survival.
Totally. And I think to go back to what you were saying, SuChin, I get the sort of ignoring part. I totally get it. I think that's I think it's a need human wise. I think we do need to do that from time to time. I also think that when we do that, and we may not see it, I think there's some bypassing that's happening. And by that, I mean bypassing of like, are we like really digging into like the stuff in ourself that we can really truly expound upon and grow and explore and be curious? Like, the thing that I've learned in therapy, EMDR, medication, all of my sort of healing work the last decade plus is like, the more I can sort of occupy the gray, messy, uncomfortable, weird place, the more healing and growth and insight and self-awareness happens. At least for me, that's the key for me.
Yeah, it's getting used to that. It's like, oh man, it's the whole like running towards things that you're afraid of so that you can get comfortable in them, to be comfortable in the uncomfortable in healthy ways, not in the ways that I was, which was, and I still find myself just able to sit in dysfunction like it was. If someone's fighting, I'm just like sitting there, like
you're just in like a little bubble bath.
Like this is, I recognize this. literally like to have, my therapist is like, when you're in these situations, you can leave. I'm like, oh.
You just have
can
popcorn.
Physically
just...
get up. Yeah, I'm just like,
I bet
don't
you
be
felt...
comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Did you, Kulap, feel a little bit like when the pandemic first started, you're like, oh, this ain't no thing?
Yeah. And I would ping pong between being completely fine and then like, not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm extroverted, but I have to charge.
Yeah.
So I was fully charged with nowhere to go. You're supposed to charge your computer, and then when it's charged, you're supposed to unplug it, right?
Yeah.
It was not.
You were like on 150%.
Yeah. And there was no place to really expound that additional energy, except on my husband.
And we started a podcast.
And then we started a podcast, and it honestly, it helped.
That helped. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you started a podcast. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm an introvert, and I also have felt like when the pandemic first started, yes, like holding all of the trauma of all that, but also like, oh yeah, I have years of experience in sort of being around like chaos and weirdness and trauma and discomfort. So I'm just like, this ain't no thing. And I felt guilty for that feeling at first, right? I had to work through some of those feelings, but yeah. How is, here's a question. Like in context of a pandemic, in context of this global collective trauma that we're all experiencing, I have sort of done, like I lead workshops on empathy and things like that for local colleges and whatnot. And I think my estimation of empathy has kind of shifted during the past like 2 years during this time. So let me put it to you, maybe SuChin, you go first. Like what does empathy mean to you, and has that changed over the last 18 months or 2 years?
Yeah, that's funny because as you were going into this, I was like, what does empathy mean? I'd love to hear your definition of that as well. I mean, I've always kind of thought of empathy as the way that we connect with each other, right? The way that we relate to one another, which I think sometimes could be different than, say, compassion or love. All of those kind of sit in the same wheelhouse. But I think empathy for me has always been, right, what does it feel like to be someone else and to communicate that kind of love and that acknowledgement to another human being, right? It's a relational thing.
Yeah.
So that's my definition of empathy. And has it changed? No, it hasn't changed. I think
has it been challenged?
For me, the biggest change came when I had kids and understanding empathy and the role in which empathy plays in parenting. That was obviously a new thing. And so that has been my sort of ground zero for a restructuring of what empathy means to me and the role that it plays in my life. And that being an empathetic parent is, for me, like beginning, middle, and end. I think if that's all you ever learned about parenting, like it's 100, it's an A+. Like you don't need to learn how to cook his favorite pasta. You don't need to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do his laundry. Like if I could master that every day with each of my children, then that's all they want. They don't want the clean underwear and the broccoli. They just want me to sit with them in joy and in, their loneliness and their frustration. And I'm like, but we got to eat the broccoli and I got to clean your laundry. And they're always just like, but can you? And so that's really, it's difficult, but it's also it's also very liberating because you have a library full of books telling you how to be a great parent. And for me, none of that stuff is relevant, has been in my experience. And it's just the one thing. So I can concentrate on that one thing. When my kids are like, mom, and I would stop saying that. And then I stop and I'm like, wait, okay, this is all I have to do. I actually don't have to do the dishes right now. All I have to do right now is sit and be like, okay, what do you need from me? And then that's that.
It's beautiful.
So it's been easier for me in some ways.
I love that. I think you're spot on. And really the way I always describe empathy is I think feeling is obviously a part of it. It's like feeling the feelings of others. It's meeting people where they are, plain and simple, right? It's like shedding the bias, shedding like what we think we know, shedding the prejudgments we do as humans, right? Like when we show up in a situation and just show up raw, protected with boundaries, certainly. Empathy without boundaries is self-destruction, but it's showing up and meeting people where they are.
I love empathy without boundaries is destruction.
Yeah. I mean, like I had to learn that the hard way, Kulap. It's, I'm sure you can relate to this, like being a very sensitive person and a people pleaser, and like the role that I took as a kid, just being like the sort of like helpful, like protector / parents mediator / I'm going to be quiet and sensitive, whatever. And that's like, that's great and wonderful. But like, if I do that for so long, it's just going to destroy me if I don't have boundaries, right?
For me, it was a defense mechanism. So I take a temperature in every room that I'm in because I need to know where the threats are.
That's survival right there.
And I need to know, and I, in the past, can modulate my voice to help hopefully guide, an outcome. And, but that is also, that's a type of, it is survival. It's a type of manipulation as well. And so if I'm always concerned for my survival, to see where everybody else is at and to kind of try to not get hurt. When you ask me, how are you feeling? I will say, I don't know, because all of my energy is this way.
Yep.
Right. To just make, I remember one of my friends said, oh, my, being around you is like a balm. It's like a salve. And it's like, that seems nice. But if you know me like I know me, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
And that's being in a room where people are fighting. Just like do and trying to mitigate it and trying to be cool and trying all of that stuff, all of that work. And how like that is not my reality now.
Yeah. It's so that stuff, that early imprinting like becomes so deep in our identities and like our neurobiology. It's just like it becomes part of us, and then it takes a great deal of work and effort to like relinquish that. Because I relate wholly to that. It just, when we can't discern our feelings from others, like dangerous place.
Yeah. Or it's tied to theirs.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's codependency, right?
I know about that. I know about that. Oh God, this shit.
Do you know your Enneagram, Kulap, SuChin?
Oh, yeah. I always forget it.
I'm a 2. So I asked because I'm a 2, which is the helper. And the helper is someone who is like deeply empathetic, helping, sensitive, but also like it can be, to use your word, Kulap, manipulative, can like take it to a point where it's like too much and you're bypassing self completely.
Wait, what are the
Various
what are they
types.
personalities types? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's another personality thing. It's it's another one of those things just to sort of explore a bit. But I find it like unlike the other ones, it feels just a bit more nuanced to me.
I'm a 3W2.
Okay.
I just had to look it up.
Yeah. So a three with a wing 2.
What does that mean?
That means like you like. I think it means like you're a 3, and then when you are like sort of in sort of good mode, you can sort of wing to a 2 helper. Yeah.
But what's a 3?
Yeah, what's a 3?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I don't remember what a 3 is. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's like, I don't know. It's another one of those things that just like helps.
The achiever. Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Oh, I'm going to take this thing the second we are done. I want to know what this is our add to cart Kulap tomorrow. Thank you for,
right.
I was having
Enneagram.
trouble thinking about, well, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? I'm going to take this quiz.
I love it. So, Kulap, empathy. What does empathy mean to you?
Empathy is about, I think for me, being someone who is very heady. Something I had to learn is that everyone is kind of going through their own thing, which you're like, yeah, that's obvious. To me is to know what individual cards have been dealt to them. And it is what you said. It's how people aren't carbon copies of myself, and they have past, presents, and futures that have absolutely nothing to do with me, and that they're working with challenges, successes that are not apparent, not necessarily always on their sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just knowing that we're all, for whatever reason, and for however it manifests, just these like multi-layered organisms. And I think during the pandemic, it was said at the beginning that this is like the great equalizer. Mm-hmm. But I think it's not that. For me, it wasn't that. It's like we all have this shared experience that is showing and revealing pain points that have always been there. I've witnessed and seen just a lot of suffering that has only been exacerbated by these circumstances. I'm talking about overdosing, suicide, economic disparity,
violence,
a lot of violence, things that were always there, but all the more apparent because of this shared experience. So yeah, it's about feeling in on how other people are feeling in on other people's experience. Yeah.
But not taking it all on ourselves, right?
It's impossible. Even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It is. But I get like I'm developing a new workshop called Empathy and the People Who Bug Us. Or that bug us. And because I like base level, ground level empathy is very easy for me as someone who's practiced it a lot. What is a bit more challenging is the like, can we show up in a world and have, come from an empathetic place with someone who's voted for Trump, for example, right? Or someone who's anti-vaccination or anti-mask, for instance, right? Those are the sort of like thought scenarios that I've been sort of exploring, not as a way to like, let's all agree to disagree, or like, it's not that. It's about like, how can we, and I think Kulap said this, like, we have this shared humanity. Let's start there. How can we start there? And then where do we go from there? Right. And that piece of it is very like that is like, I think the nuanced sort of more like, let's practice this empathy skill place that I want to go as a society.
Yeah, I mean, and that really does speak to just the it's hard for us to, because of the pandemic. I mean, we're going to talk about social media, like, let me just get cut to it, and the product of it, and the divide within the company, and it's the company, the nation. Oh God,
the company. Oh my goodness, the
capitalist company. Wow, that was weird because I really meant it when I said it.
I mean, we all are living in that system.
Yeah.
Scary.
And it's so easy because I don't live with a Trumper, to really boil a person down to that belief, and to be so, I don't know, just to lose my sense of humanity. It's just really easy to do that on the internet. And we've seen really just how horrible that is, but how that can shift the company's culture, and how Trump even got into office, and how what is happening now with the vaccine, and with just conversation. And even harder now is that some of us have decided to kind of, for our healths and other people's healths, to quarantine or do a version of quarantine. It's like, we can't, a lot of times our interactions are based in that sphere.
Mm-hmm.
It just is, it's scary. Like it's like we've lost. Yeah. That being in sorry, SuChin, just being able to be around somebody and to see somebody makes all the difference again. Like, so much of the is the dehumanization it's such a problem. But sorry, go ahead, SuChin.
No. I mean, I'm like, as you're talking about this, I was like, thinking about something kept like nagging me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I had this experience that's very relatable to what you're talking about just the other day. I was in line at CVS, right? And already I'm triggered in there, right? Like, it's the last place we want to be in a pandemic is in a CVS. Who knows how sick people are, I'm standing in line, like there's a big line, and there was one cash register, and there was like a bank of, you self-checkout, but I had coupons. And I needed a person to help me through the coupons. So I was standing in line, very impatient, and a woman walks in, and she was a white woman, an older woman. And again, things starting to fire off. She's in there, she's sort of aggressive, and she is looking around, and she screams, and she, it's like, what is this line for? Is this line for the self-checkout? And I said, no, it's not for the self-checkout. It's for the actual checkout. So you have to stand in this line. And she gets right in the front of the line and goes to the checkout. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. These are the Karens. It's because I'm Asian. Here we are. She's probably this. She's probably that. Yep. And the checkout woman was like, no, you have to stand in this line behind. And she kind of was like, and I was like, what is hard to understand about this? There's 5 people here standing in line. And she comes back, and she's behind me, and I'm just seething. And I'm also kind of like on edge, because I'm like, I don't know what this woman is. She you know what I mean? Is she is there a threat here? I don't know what's happening, but it's a very strange, aggressive behavior. And she taps my shoulder. And I swear to you, I had to keep from, you know what I mean? Like swinging my bag at her. And I looked at her and I didn't say anything. I just stared at her and I waited. And she said, I'm sorry. I'm partially deaf and I can't, it's been so hard with the masks. I can't understand or hear what people are saying. And now I understand this was the line for that.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm shaking, almost crying, thinking about that is a microcosm of the way that we're going through life right now as a company, as a country. And this woman, she walked in aggressive and scared and because she has to shore herself up in every instance that she's out of her house to battle, to try to navigate this world on her own during a pandemic where she can't understand what people are saying, literally. And it was, and I was like in the moment, I was like, oh no, it's okay. And I was just sitting there, my heart is pounding, the adrenaline is draining from my body, and all of this is coming to me. And I sat in the car in that parking lot, just staring out my window, like, what just happened?
Wow.
What just happened?
Yeah.
And these are the politics. These are the racial divides. This is the violence. It happens in those moments. In those moments, people, and this is not a metaphor. People die and live in those moments. We've witnessed that.
And those snap judgments.
Yes, in those misunderstandings of each other.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's always like that. That's, we know. But that was a really big, just sort of like, what is this thing that's, and it was, as you were talking, Kulap, I was thinking about that I think that moment will sit with me my entire life. It was one of those things where it just, another part of my brain like opened up that had been so closed, during this time.
I've got goosebumps, SuChin. I think that's so beautiful, and I so thank you for sharing it, because it is such a microcosm for what we're going through, and it's so vulnerable and human to just say, look, I was putting up my guard. I am an Asian woman. I've experienced violence. I don't know what's happening. I need to put my armor on. I need to protect myself, right? Like, that's what we do. And I get it. Like, I get it. That's what we do. Like, I am a white cisgendered man. Like, I don't need to do a lot of that. But like the intersectionality at play here, right? The able-bodied, the disability, the sort of the race at play, like all of it, like we need to like, that is the nuance in empathy and the context in empathy that we need to have space for, right? But it's hard, right? Because the company has set these rules that make things binary and make things black and white and make and other people, right? You've both experienced othering, right, in your life, right? Like, that is a dangerous company to work for, right?
Yeah, and then take into, sorry guys, that's Georgia and Molly losing their shit.
We love a dog on this show. Add to cart all the dogs.
Because someone has arrived. Just how much the frequency will affect any interaction wherever you're at. Like these dogs right now, they're stressed. And so even though they're really excited to see this person arrive, it manifests itself in a very aggressive way.
There you go.
And that is, it's so, it's so hard right now, all the things to not be affected, to have boundaries, because all of these, from the Texas abortion ban to violence towards Asian Americans to COVID to like all of these things coming add us to like, fentanyl overdoses in recreational drugs to like all these things in it, just constantly being inundated. And it makes you be here. And it's hard to be present and to
Grounded.
breathe and to be grounded and to assess things and to act compassionate.
Mm-hmm. It's hard.
It's hard.
I did this. I don't know if you've familiar with NVC. I forget what it stands for.
Nonviolent
communication.
Yeah.
And I had and worked with an NVC teacher, and she's amazing. And this is like, other level. You know what I mean? I mean, I certainly, don't make this a habit, but she would, when I would talk about things and a thing that she has taught me that is very hard for me to remember, especially in those moments, is assume, what would it be like to assume someone's innocence? Like, what would that feel like? And that could mean your partner, the most intimate relationship you have, and you're feeling triggered, and this person, that you live with and love and care for is doing that thing that you have asked that person not to do over and over again. And so therefore it means you don't love me, you don't respect me, you don't XYZ, right?
Yes.
And talk about, not only is it hard assuming a stranger's innocence, I find it the most difficult to assume my most intimate relationships as innocent. And I really always, when she introduced that concept, it took a long time for me to even understand that word in that context. And so when I'm able to, and when I'm triggered by my partner or my kids, and I have the kind of, I have a full tank or a half of a tank, I think, well, what would it be like in this moment to assume this person's innocence? That this person isn't actually here to destroy me, annoy me, all of that. What would it be like if in this moment I assume this person's innocence? Okay. So I know that my partner really gets anxious and triggered by mess. Yes. I know that right now he's going through an especially difficult transition. Oh, okay. So could it be that this moving of my power cord, which I will.
Your literal power cord. Okay, got it.
Yes, the literal one.
Charge cord.
Okay.
Don't touch my charge cord. So I'm searching through the house to charge my things. I'm a I go into the story. I'm a grown woman. I pay my bills. Why are you moving my things in my office? Right. You do all that.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I do it about 1% of the time. So I'm preaching what I cannot do, but,
but what you're trying to, what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Yes. And that's to me also a portion of empathy that I learned when I got married is that, oh, this person isn't doing this to me. Actually, this person isn't even thinking about me. This person is doing something because it's triggering something, and they're in their own, they have no idea where I am in this. And, it doesn't make the thing that they're doing okay, but there's an openness in that conversation that's very different from, you don't respect my stuff and you don't respect me. And so
therefore you don't respect me.
Like, you don't respect, exactly. So let's have a conversation about it. What is it? Because I work less? Is it because I'm the home? You know what I mean? Is it a gender? And I go, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Because of the Asian experiences and you're a white straight man. Oh, let's go there. I go.
And congrats.
Oh, congrats! To live in privilege. The word privilege. When I go there, he's like, okay, I'm gonna just let me take the elevator to another floor. I'm like, oh, well, you can do that because you were born with privilege, and I wouldn't know, and I
don't move my power cord.
So I was living in a relationship prior to even some of this therapy and NVC work.
Yeah,
where every fight about the smallest thing about the way I load a dishwasher, about where my power cord charges are, flared into a global crisis about gender, race, and money. And he's like, what is going on? And I'm like, it's just, this isn't how normal people, this is how my parents, no, this isn't.
Well, there's that. I mean,
right.
And what you're describing, like, you don't, it, like when I get into that mode, which is how dare they?
Yeah, absolutely.
How dare they? And it becomes like, now,
it's
like
quick.
it's and then these conflict, and that's where, like, and then I start to dehumanize them. Then it becomes this, like, what you're describing. I've had similar experiences of like, well, now, even though we had a conflict and maybe what he did was we need to discuss that, my reaction to it is so hysterical, so hysterical that now we have to talk
about
that is
you.
That's unfortunately top of the agenda, because the reaction was so extreme. We can't, it's not something you can kind of wait for. It's like, this
I gotta get myself into that pickle all the time. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not the one that did the wrong thing, and now I'm in trouble. Why am I sitting on this side of the principal's desk?
You too.
Yeah, I can so relate to that.
I do too. And the thing that I tell myself, SuChin, Kulap, is like, when I'm starting to feel that, and it feels real. It feels so real. And also, like, intellectually, I can sort of assess that it's like, maybe like this is small potatoes. But what I tell myself is like, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Like, she is not out to get me. She's not out to like hurt me. She loves me, in fact. Like, she loves me. Like, we're on the same team. So let's start there. She's not trying to like undermine your capacity to be a human. Like, she moved your power cord. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I go straight to, well, is this person on my team? I don't know. I have.
But that's also,
I
think it's also privilege. Like, I have
a hard time with that.
I haven't had, let's make it real. I haven't had a history of like being a woman in the world. I haven't had a history of being an Asian American woman in the world.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not carrying those daggers and those swords and armor, right? Like, I can maybe assume more positive intent naturally, because I'm a white cisgendered man who's like been given everything, right? So I think that's at play too. Yeah. Those are all, and thank you for acknowledging that, because it is true. When you said, well, we're on the same team, I don't know why I was like, there was like that deep voice, like, no, we're not. Well, you've had to like,
and I don't even know what I'm like. That's a terrible thing to say.
Well, let's take the metaphor further, right? Like, maybe I was picked first in PE for that team, and you had to like, hey, me, I'm here. Like, you had to like, I don't know, like pretend you were someone else, or like do this to get on the team, right?
Yeah. Or you were picked first, SuChin, because you like really were competent, and then like forced with you're not really you, and you gotta drag him along.
What? Not me. I can't even, I don't know, hit a ball. Is that the game we're playing?
So you got to play for him too? You got
Jeez.
Well, that's the history of the womankind. You see,
Yes.
you got many hats on, and it's like one of those sided hats like the forefathers used to wear, and you just got to be like, oh wait, that's my woman hat. Oh, that's my Asian. Oh yeah, wait, that's my. Yeah, I know.
I went to because I do a lot of things, and SuChin knows this. I in one of my past life regression therapy, hypnotherapy sessions, one of the things that she hypnotized to me was the need to be right is for children and psychopaths, and you're neither, Kulap. And that is, sometimes it's so hard, especially with my background, with my parents, my mom, especially, who has a very fluid relationship with the truth. who, constantly gaslit me and, even like my own experiences, which I guess that's the very definition. It's like that is hard, but I'm that just wanting to be right. And when oftentimes, most of the time, it's not about that, especially with with your intimate relationships. It's more, it's not oh God, if things were black and white. if only I'm just waiting.
You would win every time.
SuChin, please. I want righteous anger where I did nothing. It rarely happens.
I want it for you, Kulap. I want it because you will win every time. If it's black and white, she will win every time.
Yeah, it turns out, back to what Nona was saying, it's that fucking gray, that milky gray.
Ooh, a milky gray. I love it. So I have
Yakult gray.
There you go. I have a fun question for you too. What, maybe not fun, I don't know, you tell me. What would you add to cart for your mental health?
Oh, SuChin, I want to add so much for SuChin just because she's had such a hard time.
Yeah, go ahead, SuChin.
Oh gosh, what would I add? Well, I only need one thing, I think, for my add to cart for mental cart. And let me think about that, but let me say it and then see if it's true, which is alone time.
Yeah.
Period. Because in that alone time, I have enough resources with myself, with very, very good friends, to fill up the thing that is missing so that I can then go out in the world and also be with my family and my partner in the version that I know that is also, with me. So beyond that, I don't have any other need. Like that's the single greatest thing and the thing that makes the most difference. The facials, the skincare, the hair products, they're great. But the thing that makes the most difference is the amount of alone time that I have, and completely alone, not alone time with kids watching a movie. And so I get to, be alone. I'm talking about physically separating myself from my world. That is, and it's hard to find that time, when you've got 2 young kids and jobs and, and all of that. So
how do you find the time for that alone time?
She hasn't been able to. It's
and it doesn't help that there's a pandemic. So traveling has been, but
she's got a plan.
I do have a plan. I do have a plan. I booked it, and and that's the only way you have to do it. But you also, for me at least, I don't express that when I need it the most, and I realize expressing it is half of it, because I need help from my partner to have alone time, right? Like I need someone to say, okay, great. So I will take over this part of the schedule, and then this will, I need help with that. Yeah. But what I do is I'm like, well, I see this person doesn't see that I need alone time, and it's chained me down.
They can't read my mind.
Yeah. Can't read my mind. And I told him last therapy session that I needed alone time. So, so that's been something that, communicating that, and then also putting it on the calendar. And then the other piece of it is, and this is the part that gets more muddled, is how do I find that the benefit of alone time, right, within the confines of my day, right, so that the circumstance doesn't have to dictate whether I get filled up or not. Here's a normal day, right? I have this podcast. So what am I going to do with the rest of my day? Am I going to schedule in an hour of alone time in the space that I have while the kids are at school? Or am I going to fill that with dishes, UPS, cleaning, folding, packing. What am I going to do? So those
my
are the
friend
choices.
calls that the douche minutia.
The what?
The douche minutia. I love it.
Which they need to get done, but also almost as important is, that
More
one-to-one. Yeah. Your alone time.
Yep.
I love that answer. Yeah, I feel that. We have my partner and I, we don't have kids, a dog, 2 horses. We have a 720 square foot house, and she's a college teacher, but she's been teaching online, and love her to death. We've been married for a while, and I've just been cabin fevering up in here, and it's been hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are the horses in the house too?
They are in the house. Yeah, it's very
You're
messy.
quiet. It's pretty calm
It's
there.
called horse tranquilizers. How about you, Kulap? What is your add to cart for mental health?
I think getting out of town is a big one. I recently got back just this past week. My husband and I went to Yucca Valley, which is in the high desert, the Mojave Desert. It's it's in between Joshua Tree and Pioneer Town.
Mm-hmm.
Really kind of small town. And we stayed in a house for a week that just had a really beautiful, expansive view. Mm-hmm. And I think getting out, I love my house. In all of my travels, no house is better than this house, but changing the environment, not letting things in that way be stagnant, helps me a lot. And I was really surprised how much I liked the desert because I am somebody like forest, green. I mean, if you're by a beach, who doesn't love Hawaii? Who doesn't love? But there was something about being out in the desert that really, it quieted me. It focused me. I got a lot of like soul satisfying work done. I was very relaxed. There was something about that expansive sky, less distractions. It felt like an unwatched space, meaning I wasn't being watched. I could just kind of be. So yeah, like traveling, getting out of places, just to see different things, just to experience different things, that really refuels. And so right now I feel pretty good.
I'm going to make a leap here, and I feel all of that, Kulap, so deeply. What you're describing sounds like the universe or the earth, Mama Nene, Pale Blue Dot, whatever, giving you empathy. It's like, it's not expecting anything of you. It's showing up and just giving you what you need, right? It's not sort of assuming anything. It's just allowing you to be. And like, if that's not empathy, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah.
Feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like to, I'm very much a nature person. Travel is I think travel is a form of empathy in that way, right? But I'm the same way. I get so much out of just being, sort of allowing for that stillness that often comes with those sort of serene, expansive, because the expansiveness is I think that is the work, expansiveness. Because like what we're talking about when it comes to like SuChin's example with the woman and CVS, like a lot of this stuff is operating in the company framework, right? It's operating in this system of binary, this system of oppression, the system of like hunkering down in our sort of frameworks, right? For protection.
Being fixed. Like a fixed thought, a fixed way of doing. Yeah.
Precisely that, right? And expansiveness is I guess it's the messy, it's the sort of the gray, the milky gray, the oat milk or macadamia nut gray, yeah, I don't know.
Which can be tasty.
Delicious.
Tasty.
Yeah, a little splash. Yeah.
Too much though gives you diarrhea.
True that. True. Yeah, I got SIBO. I know that journey.
Yeah. All things can be true.
Very true. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've been the last couple years just been more hippy dippy, and it feels wonderful in these thoughts. Like I just turned 40 in July. Feels good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Things are looking up. This feels weird to say. Things are looking up for a white cisgendered man. It's my time now. I just mean privately, mental health wise. Oh boy.
No, but I know to me, I'm 41. Like, I don't know. There's something about giving less fucks. Just being the most comfortable in my skin suit that I've ever been, taking up space.
Yes.
There's something about that. Yeah.
Yes, I hear that. Like you guys wouldn't know this about me, but I had anorexia for about 15 years and battled that and sort of the body stuff and all of that. It came out of control. It came out of this control response. And what is the opposite of control if not like expansiveness and allowing and letting go, right? And accepting and giving, the fewer fucks. And it feels good, It also makes me empathize a little bit with the like midlife crisis, I guess. Like I want to like reframe that. I want to like come up with a better phrase for that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I can relate to it, but like maybe not in the like, I'm going to buy a sports car way, but just in the change way, like in the, I need to like figure this out.
Make a big shift.
Yeah. Shift, transition. Yeah. So I don't know.
And encouraging people that want to make shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So, your podcast is wonderful.
Thank you.
I listened to Kulap talking about steaming her yoni. I listened to SuChin talking about her wonderfully organized desk. It's just a ball of delight every week, and I'm so grateful it exists. So I just wanted to share that I love it with all my heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's delightful. I don't want to keep you too much longer, so let's talk about empathy heroes. We always kind of wrap up the show talking about the people in our lives who are compassionate, empathetic. I always say you can even use characters from stories, books, movies, etc. I'll go first to give you two a moment to think about your empathy hero this week. My empathy hero this week is Jackie Westfall, who made this thing happen, made this possible. She's wonderful. I've chatted with her for a Patreon bonus episode of this podcast, and just someone who's like a new friend and someone who has the thing where it's like, I am here present for you right now, and you feel seen, and you feel like your concern, not your concerns, but like you're being heard. And what a gift that we can give each other, if not like showing up and making people in our lives feel seen and heard and like they belong, right? Like that's something we all need. So Jackie is my empathy hero for that and for all those reasons. So yeah.
Oh, she's going to love that.
Yeah, she's the best.
How about you two? Who wants to go first?
Well, I think my empathy hero of the week, right? Is this what we're doing, right?
Yeah, however you want to do it.
Well, I think it's someone I already shared, which is that woman at CVS.
Hey, there you go.
And I keep thinking about, had she not tapped me on the shoulder and took that moment to connect and apologize, I would have gone out of that store in a worse state, meaning that more angry, more righteous, more, indignant than I had even before. Right. So not only did that moment, because she didn't need to do that,
Nope.
And I think I mean, I'm making assumptions, but it's probably more difficult even to do that. I mean, that's the part I get kind of stuck on is that why did she even, if I was her, I would never have done that. I would have just been like, well, that's one more misunderstanding that I'll have to face through the day, and let me just get on with it. And if I stopped and apologized to every person that I seemed to offend along the way, like what's left, So there was something in there, and whether it's the universe, whether it's whatever it is in that moment. And so I think that moment taught it just, I will, I find myself coming back to that moment again and again and again, all the time since it happened just a few days ago, and just peeling more from it. And it's just it's so rich with lessons of empathy for me that I'm finding in myself. And complete stranger,
it's beautiful. I think it's so wonderful. It's she, or I'm assuming pronouns here, this person took a moment and recognized that maybe you, SuChin, didn't have, like, you weren't using a shared language yet, right? Yeah. Like you were operating maybe on different levels, and she wanted to like be vulnerable and courageous enough to say like, look, I understand that what you might have perceived to be something that's not based in my reality right now, and I wanted to share a bit of my truth. And that's what a beautiful moment. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think maybe I'll go with because something you said, Known, talking about the universe or whomever,
Mama Nene
being empathetic, and it makes me think of my dear friend Heidi Rose Robbins, who also is my astrologer, and she really, there's something why I like astrology. Or there's many reasons, but one of the reasons I like it is this idea and this hope that the universe is holding to me. And as complicated as my relationship is with my mama on this plane, that there is even a larger force, and that there's compassion held for me in the stars. What an idea, right? And it's comforting to me. And Heidi, especially as someone, just her genius is, of course, her knowledge of astrology, but it's her person, her ability to listen so hard and to really tap into what the other person, I don't want to say needs to hear, but what will help the most. And sometimes what will help the most isn't necessarily by the way, that's the sound of my dog Molly. If you're wondering what that in the audio as you're editing, that it's just a flat-nosed dog, not my stomach, even though I have not eaten.
As aforementioned.
Yes, yes. But sometimes things aren't just like, have a positive attitude, and like, sometimes there are obstacles and then you need to be challenged. And she's really somebody who in our friendship of over 10 years has really taught me a lot about myself and how to be a better version of me.
I love that. Yeah, it's such an important, because as you know, you mentioned social media earlier, Kulap, there is so much toxic positivity that's just like, look for the silver lining, and like, and that's, I think that can serve a purpose, but like, as you know, it bypasses the whole part of us, right? It bypasses our whole humanity, which is the ability to hold all of it, the brights and the darks, right? Yeah.
Toxic positive. I've never heard that. Is that a thing?
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The
That
the
is
the, lo-
powerful.
the love and light brigade, Suchin.
The love
Oh,
and light.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like the
Yeah.
coffee mug,
Yes.
sweatshirt. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
I hate that.
and
I
it
hate
gets
those things.
it gets into dangerous territory,
Yeah.
and it has, especially like in this pandemic, the love and light brigade and the wellness culture, and
Yes.
dipping into
Yes.
QAnon, dipping
Yes.
into white supremacy, like all of it.
and
The
feel
problem
justified. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem I really have with specifically The Secret, which is like, like that anything bad to you is because you are at that frequency.
Yep.
Like it's
You did it to
very
yourself.
dangerous. You did it to yourself.
Mm.
Yep.
Like, and it's like, like
It's the choose happy approach.
Yeah.
You have
yeah,
to choose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard the Conspirituality podcast?
No.
Oh, it's
Is it
fucking
really
amazing.
good?
It's really
Okay,
good. It's
I've
all
heard
about
that,
this kind of stuff. And there was an episode about this topic exactly. But they talk about like conspiracies and the spirituality sort of like gurus and stuff. And the latest episode was about like, I think was titled The Jordan Peterson of Fitness Bros. So it's, it's like dipping into these really like toxic cultures of bypassing. Yeah.
I'm adding to cart. I love this topic.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, SuChin, Kulap, where can the listeners connect with you? Obviously, listen to Add to Cart, all of that jazz. SuChin, you go first.
Yes. So Add to Cart, which is a podcast about all the stuff we buy and what that says about who we are. So we're at Add to Cart Pod on Instagram, and then I'm at SuChin Pak on Instagram.
And I am Kulap on Instagram.
Amazing. Well, you two are a delight. I love this. I feel like I could talk to you forever, but I wanted to honor your time, and especially SuChin, you need to find your alone time today. So that's
true.
important. Yes.
Oh, thank you. That's a gift. See,
Yes.
I accept, and I will do it. I will honor this alone time. So I'm
Good.
excited.
Honor it. Yes. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this, Kulap, SuChin. And to you listeners, as I always say, I'm here, you're here, we're here together on this wayward, overwhelming, awe-inspiring, pale blue dot. We have each other. It's You, Me, Empathy.